Okay, so here is a condensed list of classic gallbladder symptoms. The first one is dull pain or sharp pain on the right side and or upper middle abdomen. The second one is referred pain at the top of the shoulder blade. Also, third, referred pain between the shoulder blades. Another classic symptom might be digestive disorders such as chronic indigestion. You could have bloating, although bloating can also be caused with excessive putrefaction in the intestinal tract. Clay-colored stools. And the reason why clay-colored stools is because clay-colored stools are an indication that you have high fat content in the stool itself. And usually the stool will tend to float. It means there's a lot of fat that has been undigested because there's not enough bile to be able to process to metabolize the fat. Another one is nausea and vomiting, and I'm going to be covering this one. Pain with breath, that is when you take a breath, it feels like you feel pain in that area. Pain after meals is another one. That means that there's bile, because there's an obstruction, bile tries to get around the obstruction and it causes pain, such as when you have a gallstone in a bile duct. But when you have gallstones, say, in the gallbladder, the bile, in order for the bile to be excreted, the gallbladder itself needs to contract. And if you have a gallstones or collection of gallstones in there, then you end up having pain. So that's another critical one. Okay, and the above, another one is the above symptoms happen more often at night. Okay, I would also add to the list the following: chronic headaches and migraines. And that's the reason is if you have stagnant bile in the gallbladder, a lot of times it's very toxic, and that stagnant bile is reabsorbed by the body, travels to the circulatory, to the bloodstream, into the brain, and it actually causes migraines. So one of the biggest causes of migraines, believe it or not, is your gallbladder. Is stagnant bile that you have in your gallbladder. And one of the easiest ways to get rid of a migraine is actually to do a coffee enema. And I'd like to reference that. We have a video on how to do a coffee enema. You can get rid of a coffee enema within 15 minutes. Excuse me, you can get rid of a migraine headache just within 15 minutes. And of course, the migraine, that's an indication that if you get migraine headaches and you do a coffee enema, and then the migraine headache goes away, then that's an indication that you have an issue with stagnant bile in your gallbladder and that you need to cleanse the gallbladder. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be referencing where to get such help, or at the bottom of this video on how to permanently dissolve the gallstones that are causing these migraines and the many other conditions that I've talked about here. Yellowness of eyes and skin. This again is you have an obstruction and the bile is not able to flow in the right direction, and so what ends up happening is it's excreted through the pores. So you turn yellow, or you could actually see it in your eyes. Okay, so how can you more definitively tell if gallstones are to blame for your gallbladder symptoms? There are other indicators that can aid in determining if gallstones are actually present. These indicators can actually help narrow down the process of sourcing the problem when the symptoms being experienced seem to be rather elusive, like the one I've just discussed earlier. So these markers can be cataloged. What I've done is I've cataloged these into certain areas. So we've got the first one being, those are going to be physical markers. There's also digestive markers. There's muscular or joint related markers. And there's emotional markers, and there's actually other categories that are put into miscellaneous. Now, although having a few of these markers is not enough to preclude gallstones as the source of your symptoms, if enough of these markers are being felt, if enough of these indicators are being experienced, then there is a real good chance that gallstones in the gallbladder, liver, or bile ducts are the likely cause of the symptoms you're experiencing. So to actually get a full listing of the above markers, these markers that I've just discussed, the physical markers, digestive, muscular or joint related markers, emotional markers, I've actually have a full listing of these markers on a page that I've especially prepared for you that will have the full listing of the gallbladder symptoms. Now, all of the above mentioned indicators are expounded in great detail and there, so do not fail to actually go to our main page, please, to that page, please, because I can't mention everything. It would just take too long to actually for me to explain all the details